We're on the phone today with Daniel Cleland. He is from the band Savage Existence. They've got a new self-titled album coming out, and they're also on tour with Ross the Boss. Daniel, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, can you tell us a bit about your band, Savage Existence, maybe for the listeners haven't discovered you guys yet?
Yeah, of course. So we are Savage Existence. We came about inside the country of Costa Rica. We're a band formed of international members. I was born and raised in Canada, along with our drummer. Jesse Radford, we've been friends for 35 years or thereabouts. And we started playing together back in high school in the 90s. But it wasn't until we were working together here in Costa Rica that we decided to form a legitimate band and make a go at the music industry. So while Jesse actually works with me here. I have a business in Costa Rica, a hotel and healing center, retreat center. And he's a chef. He works there as well. And we got back into music during the pandemic when we were stuck here doing nothing. Fortunately, I had made some connections with Logan Mader, who's a world-renowned producer and founding guitarist of Machine Head, Soulfly, Once Human. I think he's worked on like 87 different records or something like that. And one of the pioneers of the groove metal scene, dating back to the 90s. So he came down, he recorded a demo for us here in Costa Rica, at which point we decided to find some more bandmates in Costa Rica. And we got in touch with a lead vocalist by the name of Anton DeRusso. And he's actually Russian, but he's been in Costa Rica for the past 20 years or so. And he got us a couple other guys that he knows here in Costa Rica, Danny Ramkas and Andres Castro. And so, yeah, we've got our 5-piece band. We have, we've done a bunch of touring. We got a bunch more touring coming up. We're just in the process of releasing our second album and are currently working on pre-production for the third album.
Awesome, man. Yeah, things are going well for you guys. And you mentioned the new album, self-titled. What are the listeners in for with the new album?
It's a great album. It's we're very proud of it. We really put a lot more collaboration into this one than we did the first album. We had a lot more input from Anton, who's a brilliant composer, and we had a lot of the performances were done by Andres, and he's a kick-ass guitarist. And we also have several guitar solos by Gary Holt on the album. So Gary Holt, of course, being the guitarist from Slayer and Exodus.
Sure. Kick-ass guitarist.
So, and we have a lot of talent on this record. The music is tuned in B and drop A, so there's kind of a couple different vibes. Some of it's more of a groovy metal kind of vibe, and a little more rocky or bluesy, and then some other a little more unconventional, a little more aggressive, a little more modern. Yeah, the topics of the songs kind of range from general concern, modern day concerns. I pay attention to a lot of kind of global issues and geopolitics and stuff like that, since I'm an international entrepreneur, so I've got to pay attention to that stuff. So, when I write lyrics, it tends to have more of an objective viewpoint, and then Anton tends to write more about personal struggles and overcoming challenges that many people would face. So, there's 9 songs in the album. They're all pretty heavy. Some have more melody than others, and it's really, really good.
Well, Daniel, can you talk a bit about how you wound up with Gary Holt on the album? I know that says a lot for him to put his kind of stamp of approval on Savage Existence, but the fact that he's on your album, I mean, that says a lot about you guys.
Yeah, well, Gary's an awesome guy, and also just a really nice guy. So I actually met Gary for the first time at the final Slayer show in LA in 2019, and I did a meet and greet. So it was just like anyone else, paid the extra to go and meet the guys from Slayer, and I went there packing business cards and wearing a company T-shirt. So my company Soltara, we do ayahuasca retreats in Costa Rica and in Peru. So if I'm trying to make inroads with somebody or develop a relationship with somebody of importance like that, I'll say, look, you ever heard of ayahuasca? Do you want to come down and do a retreat here? I've got you covered, right? And so Gary and Tom Araya were both interested in that proposition when I went to see them at the meet and greet. So I gave them business cards, and then after the show, a few days later, I got in touch with Gary, and we started talking and following each other on social media and stuff like that. And then during the lockdowns, nobody was touring or anything. Nobody was making money. So it was a perfect time to do a gig with us. And so, yeah, I mean, we also were taking advantage of the downtime there and went into the studio during, I think, December of 2021. So everything was starting to open up in Vegas, but there were still no concerts going on really. But yeah, we were able to get to Vegas and get in the studio and bang out an album, and it kind of worked for Gary to come down there. He wanted to see Journey. Journey was playing in Vegas, so it's kind of like a little vacation for him and his wife to come down from San Francisco to Vegas and watch his favorite band Journey and do a couple of sessions with us, and that was good. And hopefully we'll get to do more work with Gary in the future.
Awesome, man. Well, I know Savage Existence is on tour now. You guys playing with Ross the Boss. You got to be pretty stoked for that. I'm sure you guys were probably Manowar fans coming up, and now you guys are on tour with the Boss.
Yeah, well, it's super awesome. I mean, Manowar is just a super well-known band that's got a really sizable global fan base, and especially in Europe. And so yeah, we're stoked to be touring with those boys, and hopefully that leads to bigger and better things as well.
So do you think you guys might be making your way to the States at all? Maybe this year or maybe sometime next year to tour on the new album?
Yeah, absolutely. We are working on several different options in the U.S. to get locked in for this year, probably summertime or fall. Excellent.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of metal fans here in the Midwest and Minnesota especially, so it'd be cool if you guys could make it this way.
Minnesota, eh? That's cool.
Yeah, being from Canada, I'm sure you can relate to the accents.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Daniel, I know the album is just out here, but is there something else maybe in the works or anything else we should be watching out for?
We've got a kick-ass music video that's going out with the album for a song called "Standing in Flames." That's the focus track of this album. So when the album goes out, we're going to be pumping that song up, and I think people are really going to like the video. And then yeah, we've just finished setting up a recording studio like in my house in Costa Rica. So we now have a rehearsal space where we can record ourselves live and then also do our own pre-production on the third album. So we're going to spend the next like 6 to 9 months working on piecing together, tweaking, and perfecting album number 3. We're hoping to get 12 or 13 songs on that album as well. So we got more stuff coming down the pike, but for now, kick-ass album dropping on April 28th, and kick-ass music video to go along with it. And then touring. Euro tour. We've got I think we're going 4 different countries in April and May: Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, and Belgium, which is exciting.
Awesome, man. Well, it's been great speaking with you, Daniel. The new album is great, and continued success for you guys. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you.
And again, that was Daniel Cleland from the band Savage Existence, and their new self-titled album is out now. And also they are on tour with Ross the Boss from Manowar.